Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whoever you are and wherever you are. Today is October, October 3rd, 2025. To me, it's considered to be a beginning of an autumn month in most of the northern hemisphere. Most of the southern hemisphere is coming of spring. Uh, so yeah, well, world has been in turmoil, I would say. Gaza has been heightened. The flotillas issue, blah blah blah. To be honest and personally, it's a vicious cycle. This is a very vicious cycle that talks about religious matters. The claim of the land. It's not just about Gaza, but it's about Jerusalem. I mean, everything is go back to Jerusalem. It's the key issue among all of this Israel Palestinian matters. So yeah, war has been spinning around in chaos, I would say. But in relatively wise, economy must go on. The world's money must continue to operate and flow. That is the most paramount at the moment. So yeah, while we see the world going around, we continue to live our life as normal. So now, not much things I would like to say about on the side trail the current event of today, other than the exciting news. I would say tomorrow and this coming Saturday, Sunday, and Monday is the Malaysia's numismatic fair, international numismatic fair. So yeah, it is a time where people start spending on their money, where they trade, buy and sell, and meaning all the foreign, I would say, nomad dealers going across the world collecting unique notes and selling it to other countries, and now it has arrived in Malaysia. So tomorrow is a big day, big, I would say. Now, the most heightened moment of things that has been promoted in the fair is the 10 yuan silver coin from China. Now, if you all are very enthusiastic coin collector, especially Chinese coins, you will know and bound to know that these lucrative coins, the silver coins, not the gold one, the silver coins, encased in the so-called card, like almost like a trading card or a credit card size kind of card, encapsulating it with the background of the city and so forth. Now tomorrow is another special one that they're going to issue, is the background of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, one of the cities, and they're only exclusively sold and issued in tomorrow's fair by the organizers, by Trigonometric Auction House. uh, Numbers we have heard is about 3,000 units. There are 3,000 pieces. Originally, the price was 275 ringgit, but due to last minute call about a couple of days, they have to make announcement. They raise the price to 300 ringgit due to taxation or whatever that needs to. Well, it's quite unfortunate, but yeah, if it's tax, well, gotta pay it. If not, it is illegal. So, yesterday I just read an article that for those who got this brilliant coin cards and so forth, you can actually on the same day, which is tomorrow, send it for grading to NCG for grading. The coins for PMG straight is for the the banknotes and currency for coins in CG. Now, they are offering to issue the card encapsulating it, graded as a first day issue. As a promotion that only does that label of the first day issue only tomorrow. If you buy it tomorrow, you'll get that one. If you buy on the first day and then you submit to them on the second day of the event, they don't count as the first day issue label. You won't get that. You will get the normal one with the graphic background of the label of the Kuala Lumpur. If you can see the pictures in the Facebook, if you're going to Kuala Lumpur Numismatic Fair, you'll see how it looks like. All of them, the price is exactly supposed to be 300, and they reduced that to 25 ringgit. They reduced 25 ringgit, so the price becomes 275 ringgit to be graded. So I find it very oxymoron in that sense. Actually, I paid $300 to get that coin, and I pay another $300, ringgit, to grade it. So the price, it becomes doubled. For me, as a investor or someone needs lucrative business, in order to make profit from there, 300 plus 275, that's about reaching up 575 ringgit, and to resell it, at least I need to make a profit of a 20%. That's roughly about say 650 to 750 ringgit. So basically the coin itself is already valued at around 700 ringgit and above. The coin already set a minimum gauge price at 700 because of the grading. If you don't grade it, people assume if you grade it, you'll become double the value and so forth. The hype is there. Only if you're worthy enough to pay for it to be graded as first day cover issue. To me, it's a bit oxymoron at that point. So if you ask me, it's a novelty to get that coin. I was thinking of getting it among all the things I could get. If bear in mind, this fair, I am not going to spend a whole lot of money on my capital to buy notes. I'll be much more selective in what I am making my decision on buying the notes. Beyond the notes, probably a novelty to get is the coin. I'll try to get the coin. 275 becoming 300 ringgit. This coin is just going to be a novelty for me, and if anybody wishes to buy from me, well, I'll buy it at the market. I will sell it at the market price plus 20% from the market price. At least I make some profit from that. But I'm not eager to keep it for a long time for my personal collection. So yeah, that's the course of it. The coin will be there. It's one option. Hopefully, the banknotes there, they are something that I'm looking for. Probably the Japanese will still be there. The Korean will be less because the notes that I'm looking for the Korean is vastly expensive. So maybe if the price is right, I will probably get it. The Japanese one, same thing, because by mid of this month I'm actually going to Japan, so I'll be looking more detail on Japanese banknotes. Now the Chinese banknotes that I'm looking for, other those relevant one is like the Republic of China banknotes era rather than the People's Republic. There's nothing much I could get for the People's Republic of China notes other than the most high-end ones, which is vastly more than the capital that I could muster for a note at the time. Beyond that is the more current notes that I'm looking for. On top of my mind would be Iran's new check money, the new version. I believe is a new 2 million or 1 million real, with the conversion to Tuman, of course. I'm also looking forward, probably, if there is a chance, I'm looking for a Malaysia 1 ringgit first prefix for uh, 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 Jeff, the current governor name. Oh man, just top of my head, I just forgotten his name. Jafar, if I'm not mistaken, Governor Gafor's first prefix for 1 ringgit, which I still can't believe I'm not able to find it. I found Gafor's last prefix for the last governor, former governor Samsia, is last prefix, and then a general prefix for Gafoor, but not the first prefix. So one of the highlights I'm looking for is the first prefix for the 1 ringgit. It won't cost much. Hopefully, it'll be probably at 10 or 15 ringgit at the value price for uncirculated one, for a mere 1 ringgit note, and it's current. Other notes that I'm looking for, the biggest juicy one that I'm actually looking for is the new Falkland Island banknotes. Those are the prize. Those are the big hit. At this moment of time, there are no dealers in Malaysia is selling it at this moment or gotten it. So it will be a handsomely if I could get those notes. I know it's gonna be a lot of money, but hopefully during this event, most of the dealers, they got it from that country itself, would have a smaller profit margin to sell. Because anyway, if I don't get it tomorrow and the other dealers, local dealers, got it, and I'm buying from the local dealers in the future, the price goes up even further because they are the only suppliers, and it will be much more expensive than a fair would sell. That's the logic that I had in my mind, but I hope it doesn't happen. If I could get it, I'll try and get it. If I don't get it, well, c'est la vie. To save more capital to actually eventually have to get it. Yeah, so this is on top of my mind. So my main focus on the fair probably would be Chinese, Korean, Japanese. The Japanese will fall behind unless it's a rare note, but mostly I'm trying to find, and fidgeting would be Chinese banknotes, Republic, if they have Republic. Beyond, other than that option, probably Australian notes, some Middle Eastern notes, or even South America, because a lot of the South Americans have issued notes last year that I missed, especially like Paraguay and so forth. So yeah, that would be interesting. And Venezuela, probably very interesting to collect notes. Middle East, well, I'm missing, of course, the UAE dirhams. I have missing block of high denomination, which is like the 1,000 dirhams, the 500 dirhams, and 100 dirhams. I'm missing those. If I could find good price, I'll probably get it. But anyway, compared to last time I went early this year, it will be less quantities I will be buying. And simultaneously, if I could direct, I am trying to attempt to purchase or win a bid in Heretics auction, which is held online tomorrow. So it's running simultaneously in the event, sorry. And another one is an auction from Tokyo, which I'm also offering one of the notes, and most probably will be difficult to get. notes in position for me, rather than going to Japan and find it. Somebody is actually selling it in a reasonable price. Why not? I get it now. And the good thing is, if I win the bid, the moment that I go to Japan at that period, I can meet the person in the shop and pay cash. So I don't need to go through fidgeting through credit card or bank transfer and all that living overseas. Since I'm going to that shop in Tokyo, and I can pay it before the deadline submission date that they provided. So yeah, that is one of the strategy I had in that one. The heritage is another, and I have a low chance on getting the heritage to to acquire or to win. As you know, heritage are quite aggressive bidders. If they want it, they'll buy it at their heartbeat. So I don't know whether I could win there, but the chances are may not be, because the premium is like 25%, is quite high. Plus, it's from America. When you export out of America, there will be costs running much even higher, especially the delivery and so forth. So yeah, there's a bit more burden there at this point of time. Anyway, that is what I'm planning to do tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow I'll do a small clip, a glance through the entire uh, fair. So I have a glance through how it looks like for you guys who are interested, looking a little bit glance, but nothing too long. I don't like to do recordings in a public space, unnecessary. So I'm not a YouTuber or not a filmmaker, so content creator, I would say. I do this just to fulfill my requirements, which is to record my collection, and vice versa, to share my opinions of my collection to those who are watching. So yeah, that's about that point. So now let's get back to the main coup de grace of the video. 2 days ago, I got the two notes, as I posted in the YouTube. If you read the YouTube, I got this note on Wednesday. Then yesterday, I did some of the short reels clips, and as I promised on Wednesday, I try to fit in today or tomorrow on doing a video review. So these are the two notes I got. Two different continent, I would say. They are outside the country. One is from Europe. This one's from Europe. I got it from in Europe. This one I got it on. Both are online. One is in Europe continent. One is in Australia. I got this from in eBay in Australia, and this one's from the auction house. I got it from Europe. You all should know by now what auction house that I've been hunting in. The watering grounds that I always hunt in Europe auction house. So yeah, if you all watch my video, you will know. But this one I got it from eBay, which is kind of like the third time buying it from eBay. I really don't buy things from eBay quite often, because I worry that it is not real, and so forth. There's no guarantee in it. But the only thing I like about eBay is the payment system, because I'm able to use PayPal to pay. So I use PayPal as a platform, where you use your credit card transferring money to PayPal, and PayPal's account from your account pays to the seller. So the seller actually knows the PayPal recognition number where the money is got from, which is my account, but they don't get to know my credit card or my saving accounts in my country. So they only recognize PayPal. So if they hack through, they only hack, probably understandably, know is PayPal. So I don't put money in PayPal at all. If a little bit, I would just put about $10, $50, no more than that. I treat PayPal as a platform where the money is being transacted on the platform without knowing my personal account details. So yeah, that's what I purposely use for, and it's quite brilliant. I like that. And few things that I want to talk, which we'll go through the notes. First note we'll go through is this one. This is the Central Bank of China 500 custom gold unit. Now, most of the time you see custom gold units like this. They are all standardized as like a portrait vertical banknote rather than in a landscape banknote. As you see this, there are only two banknotes under custom gold unit. Only two notes are in landscape position. The 500 one, which is printed in 1947, and the other one is 100 custom gold unit printed in 1947. Now, again, from my previous videos that I have mentioned about the collection for the custom gold unit, the 101 I consider it as an issued note. It was not widely used. It was just only printed out or was not issued out to use. Most probably it never did. At this moment in time, there was no facts on the system that in the history that has happened on those notes. Now, if you look at the directories, they have the visual of the note, how it looks like, and of course it was printed by the same company who printed this 500 one, which is, if you can see right here, I don't know whether you can read, is the Waterloo and Son Limited in London. And the Waterloo and Son is one of those notes printers that those days are the leading ones, competing against Thomas de la Rouge. Thomas de la Rouge today is very big company. I'm not too sure at today's condition company of this Waterloo and Son, but I think has been diminished and has been overrun or taken over the entire market of printing banknotes, security notes by Thomas de la Rouge. But in those days they were competing each other, and I could say they produced really nice notes on its house. Now this note itself, everything is in good condition. This corner is not sharp. The other three corners, they are in quite perfect, I would say, square as it is. But here there is a missing kind of circular point. So there are pieces missing, I would say, has been already curved, no longer sharp at this corner edge. And you can see majority of the note color, everything retained, but the only big problem is, as you can see, the stain. Huge stain. That is the only disadvantage, I would say, in this note, the stain mark. Now when you talk about fold, there is no fold, and this corner bit is already curved, chamfered. There is one line here, really hard to see. You cannot see the line, but if you put it under glance through like this, probably you could see. Even this is very difficult in the camera, but visually in the eye, when you focus, that is a strong, it's not strong, it's a very light center line. This note has been folded before, but the thing is, it was so rarely folded, it's barely visible or able to crack the intaglio print inks across the portrait. So it looks really pristine, as you can see in the right now on the video, looks really pristine. Now in general rule terms, I know that China, during Republic of China notes, any banks that is printed by overseas, especially from London, especially like this one, Waterloo and Son, they are quite difficult to find, and their value is really high. Now 500 ones, I would believe, is very difficult to find, and they're very expensive. If you look at the PIC standard catalog book, this 500 normally is quite outweigh the price compared to the other uh, sort of vertical banknotes for the custom gold units. So yeah, this is one of the unique one I found, and I paid a good price for its condition. It was worth the price, I would say. No more than 120 ringgit actually. So I was really proud on getting this note. Um, I'm happy to get this in my collection with a very reasonable price for my own personal collection. Stain wise, yeah, probably not so, but generally the note is not used, so the color of the note is still strong and brilliant. So I won't have any arguments from based on the how much I paid. I'm not going to complain much. So yeah, this is 500 custom gold unit printed by from a British company called Waterloo and Son. Brilliant. And if you ask me, the brother or sister of this note from the same company uh, is the 100 custom gold unit, which is even rarer if you can find. Is even rarer right now. Virtually, I have never seen somebody possess it or even sell it in the auction. I have not seen it at all. If there is, and the price is right, of course, probably I will get it. Now, in the book, they say this is a unissued note, but in the in the web page for the catalog for um, banknotes collection, they have seen the note is like as regular as it is with a proper serial number note. So I don't know whether it's issued or not, but knowing it is going to be very difficult to get that note for sure. That is why I consider that note as unissued note, so I avoid from looking for it and wasting time looking for that note. So yeah, custom gold unit was my goal for this year to collect them all if I could. So yeah, one of the hardest one in 1947 is complete. This is one of the hardest one to get in a very good condition. So yeah, very happy to get this one at 120 ringgit. The next one is from the People's Republic of China. Now this is technically not a note. This is actually a certificate, a foreign exchange certificate, as is written in Chinese, and the birth year is written 中国银行. Bank of China. Now, if you all know Bank of China, not to be confused with the People's Bank of China. Bank of China is actually a commercial bank, and they have enterprise in Hong Kong. They do issue notes in Hong Kong, Bank of China series. They work commercial banks across the whole world in America, Canada, even in Malaysia. And they were one of the oldest and one of the biggest commercial company outside of China that is branded by Chinese companies. Now, when Deng Xiaoping, now the story goes like this: when Deng Xiaoping started to open up the country, regardless whether the cat is white, whether the cat is black, so long it catches the rat or mice, some of you might say. And so long it does its job, irregardless, we're gonna take advantage of it. And that's how China grew. At that point of time, when the realization that China needs to industrialize, needs to enter the world theater to modernize their country through industrialization rather than isolate themselves in a communist world as its own utopian society, they have taken a decision under Deng Xiaoping's leadership in the early 1980s to the early 1990s. China was opening up to the world and being started to become the factory of the world. For those days, being a communist country, your country is really isolated. It's a lot of the infrastructure of the network of trade and so forth is really separated. A communist world is communist world. A democratic and economic free market is another world. They are not compatible. At that time, China, there is no system to integrate on the open market trade at all. They are building it. They are interested in building it, which build up as we see today, China. So, how would a foreigner, investors or tourists from outside of China come in to China having a currency that is valid? Now they can't have the foreigners using the local currency because the local currency is controlled and distributed for the local use. So they came out the idea is that, and you don't want the locals, the most important thing is you don't want the locals having US dollar in their hand at that time. You don't want them to have foreign money because the foreign money at that time is valuable. They have value in the open market. So the government don't want foreigners coming in like an open market, like a normal trade in foreign exchange, like you buy and sell, as you would do when you go holiday or you go vacation out on the country. So one of the tricks is they do is they issue this note. Now before you enter China, you need to convert your currency. Let's say you are having US dollars and your as a local currency. Okay, you have to go to the Bank of China, or I believe so at that time, it's the only bank, to convert your US dollar to this certificate. This certificate is considered as a money of equal value to the local currency in China, which is the people's currency in Yuan, renminbi. So as you can see, it's written here in English, Bank of China, foreign exchange certificate. Closer. So let me read it out. The yuan expressed in this certificate is equivalent in value to the renminbi yuan. This certificate can only be used within China as designated places. No request to register its loss will be accepted by the bank. Again, when you go to China, you'll be using this note, and it's used in a designated areas, basically control area that is for foreigners, because at that time China wasn't that open. It's slowly opening up these doors to foreigners, but it hasn't opened up widely as it's supposed to or should be at that time, because exposure needs to take time to be accepted by the locals. So it's a thing of adaptability. So once China is open its doors, certain areas will be catered to foreign visitors. The proper word is foreign visitors. They will have this banknote. We know this note is only used by foreigners, so the locals cannot have possession of this note. If you are a Chinese citizen, the notes like this is useless. It's like a toilet paper. It's nothing. Yes, it is 50 yuan, but they cannot claim the value of 50 yuan because this is a foreign banknote that is used by foreign visitors, not by locals. Now, locals has their own currency, as you know, with Chinese banknotes. There are few of those notes, so those are much more localized use. This one is used certainly for only foreigners. So yeah, 50 yuan. So in summary, I would say for this note is you buy this note in your own home country. You had to go to the Bank of China, I believe so. Beyond the net, probably. I do know that my parents actually got this kind of notes in their time when they went to China early days, when they were a bit more younger days, before I was born even. They have to go to this bank and change the local currency to yuan and use this money in China at a selected areas where they are permitted, like you buying souvenirs or buy food or water that is catered specifically for tourists or foreign visitors. Then you'll use this note, okay, without changing into local currency notes, because the control to prevent the locals having foreign notes, because foreign notes, of course, at that time has more money. So this is the functionality of the foreign exchange certificate. Now, the other countries that use foreign exchange certificate other than China is Burma or Myanmar. Now, Burma or Myanmar, some might call it vice versa. I would use Burma. They will use also this foreign exchange certificate. Also widely used until early mid 1990s. The notes is almost similar to the Chinese. The principal design is the same, but of course the elements will be different, which incorporate into a Burma's design and identity. But the principle of the things, like at the back will have this words and so forth with this here and watermark position, they are same because it is printed in China. Now, whether this is printed, and the question is, does this note is printed by Bank of China? Certainly, I would know at this moment of time is no. If any of you know more detail about this kind of note, do let me know. Where it was printed? Does it print by the commercial bank itself, like Hong Kong? The answer I would say right now is no. These notes are not printed by the commercial bank, not the Bank of China. It's printed by the Chinese controlled government controlled printing press. They have a facility to print these notes, which is controlled by the government and regulated by the People's Bank of China. Not to be confused, I would remind most people is Bank of China and the People's Bank of China are totally different banks. The Bank of China is a commercial bank. It serves the people directly by opening an account, savings accounts, or giving you a credit card, opening a credit line, loans, like what commercial bank should be operating. That is the Bank of China. Now, People's Bank of China is a bank that regulates all these commercial banks. In Malaysia, it's similar. Like we have all the commercial bank, and the central bank is government-linked banks that regulates all the commercial bank. Is called the Bank Negara Malaysia, or the National Bank of Malaysia. In America, probably will be by the Treasury, the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is the equivalent to the People's Bank of China. So they operate almost a similar case. So this note is regulated by the People's Bank of China, is issued and distributed by Bank of China, and it was printed by a government-owned, state-owned printing facilities to print this note. So that's about the jigsaw puzzle on this note I know of. I would say. Now they come out, there's a lot of denomination. They have the 10 cent, they have the 20 cent, and so forth. I have all of them. So the smaller denomination are all the way up to the 10 yuan are all the same. The only difficult one is the 100 yuan and the 50 yuan. The 100 yuan and the 50 yuan have two different years. This one is 1988. The other one is 1979. There were two different year prints and two different designs. So again, the 50 and the 100 for this type of note is very difficult to find, and they're not very cheap. Lucky me, I had one of the hundreds, which, thank you, I had to thank my parents who kept that note. Even though there's a lot of money there, they kept that note and passed it to me. So it's the 1988 note. So right now I'm missing is the two notes are the 100 and the 50 yuan for 1979. So there are the only two things missing from my collection at the moment. But yeah, once I have that too, I've completed the foreign exchange certificate and hopefully end my search for this type of notes. Now, I got this note from an auction house in Europe. This is actually the second time it happened to me. And when I got this note, it was under uncirculated condition. Okay, uncirculated condition. Now I'm going this as a rant. I've already given them my last review and told them that my note was folded during the delivery process. So you should add a hard cover between the two between the notes, at least two hard covers, so that when it bends, it doesn't have able to bend the parcel itself to get damaged. You can see under the light. You notice the plastic. This is the original plastic came in the parcel. I haven't taken out and do anything about it. If you can see this line here, this was folded during the delivery process. I don't blame the mailman because they don't know what's inside it. They're not supposed to know what's the content inside of it, but they're quite brutal on their delivery. They just tape it around, and probably they tape this side with the rubber band and this one fold like this and got folded the whole entire line. You can see there's a fold line right here, and they put a light there. You can see a reflection here. This fold goes across this note. What does it tell you as a collector? When you bought it in auction, unfolded, unmolested, I would say, okay, unmolested, it is conditioned at uncirculated condition. And you all know, under uncirculated condition, there are virtually no fold, other than a soft count votes, which is used by the banks and so forth. Those are considered acceptable folds, which is a very light and not visible. This is a hard fold. When I won the bid, it was uncirculated, okay, unfolded, it was pristine, and when I got it, it is no longer uncirculated condition. It has gone to probably choice extremely fine. I wouldn't dare consider this about uncirculated actually, because of the one strong fold on this note. It's a beautiful note, uncirculated, flat unfold, became folded because of a negligence of the delivery, which as a auction house, when you do the execute your parcels delivery to secure the notes, and you know this is very, very fragile and should not be folded, you should put a precaution on the note inside the mail. I've seen a lot of other auction house does that properly. As you can see from my other video, one of the good ones I like, Unique Auctions, they've done deliveries superbly well. I am quite happy. They have taken so much precaution to avoid the notes being tampered or being folded or being damaged during the delivery process. This one have neglected it, and the result is I'm paying something that is not being delivered to me as what I have won. Now this is the second time from the same auction house. I have given my review, my comment, and my rant to them. Really quite gentle actually, not really difficult. I'm not the kind of person who like to scream across the board or across the whole hall. I'm a very gentle person. So I give them a gentle reminder and they understand it, they reply back, they understand it, and they'll do it. So, and yeah, it comes again, they never do it, and it becomes an issue. So, this is not a compromise I can take. I won the bid for an uncirculated one, and it delivered to me a choice if extremely fine choice condition, downgraded, and that means the price of it has been downgraded. Do I get my money back? Auction house rules, I don't get it back. But what is sold is what is considered is. So I can't even argue with them. All I can say is my advice: be careful when you do delivery system like this kind of fragile items. You should have precaution, safety, protect the note. You know, put hard cardboard. At least one or two to secure it. If not, put in a plastic that is hard plastic that don't fold easily. It takes a brute force to fold it. That is an option. So that's my personal rant on this auction house. That I'm quite frustrated. This is the second time that I bought a note that has been downgraded during the delivery process. So yeah, so that is all for today for the note. I need to actually get to bed early. I need to wake up tomorrow early in the morning just to get in line to get that 10 yuan silver bullion note on card, which is limited for 3,000 issuance. So I'll try to get one of those as a novelty. So I have to go there early, and yeah. So that is all for today. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I will do some clips. You can have a look. If you guys have any comments or anything, you can ask me. Do send me a message, or you have any opinions, or if I say something wrong or something that is not correct, you want to correct me, please correct me. I'm not perfect, but I do like to learn the truth behind all these notes, whether it's what I said is correct or not. And for those of you who would like to see my future video, do subscribe if you want. Again, a final disclaimer: I do this not for entertainment purposes. I'm not doing this for clickbaits. I'm more doing this for my personal archiving my collection from the day by day if I could, and vice versa. I would also like to share my collection to the world on what my collection has, and hopefully inspire young collectors to collect banknotes. So yeah, thank you very much, y'all, and I hope to see you real soon. Bye.